Today we're working on now we're going to be working on problem solving, applying what we've already been doing, adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators, and we're going to apply them into normal everyday situations so that you can understand how important this really is. Let's look at our first problem. It says Nathan used some flour for a cake recipe. He used 1/4 of the bag of flour for a 1/4 of the bag for the bread recipe. 2/4 of the bag was left. What fraction of the bag did Nathan use for the cake? It asks us to look at the facts that we know. Nathan used some flour for a cake recipe and blank of the bag for the bread recipe. So how much did he use for the bread recipe? If we come back to this problem, it says he used 1/4 bag of flour for the bread recipe. So right here you will write 1/4 for those of you who opted to print this out. Then it asks he has blank of the bag left. Well, according to the story here, it says that he has 2/4 of the bag left. So that would go right here. Then it says find the fraction of the bag of flour that was used for the cake. So we would write cake on this spot here. Then we come up with a plan. This particular strategy, they're doing a model with working backwards. So they're showing, since this is fourths, they're showing fourths. This is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, because we know that 1/4 plus 2/4 plus 3/4 plus 4/4 is equal to 1 whole bag of flour. Well, according to this, we know that Nathan used 1/4 for the bread. So that's his bread. And then we also know that he had 2/4 left over. Well, that would be our leftover right here. And this is how much was used then for the cake. How much was used for the cake? 1/4 of the bag, or 1/4 of the bag was used for the cake. All right, let's take a look now at page 588. So page 588 says Lily, Noah, and Kaylee are sharing pizza. Noah ate 2/6 of the pizza. Kaylee ate 1/6 of the pizza. There is 2/6 of the pizza left. What fraction of the pizza did Lily eat? Well, that very last question would come into play right here. What do you need to find? Well, we need to find what fraction Lily ate. I'm laughing because Lily obviously didn't eat a fraction. She was eating pizza. So how do you like that? That's why it's important to be thinking about what you're writing. All right. So then the question is, what facts do you know? Well, we know that Noah ate, it's hard for me to read it from here. I'm sorry, he ate 2/6. And I know that Kaylee ate 1/6. And I also know that there was some left over. And according to our story, there was 2/6 left over. So I need to make a plan. There are two different ways that you could solve this. You could do Noah's amount of 2/6 plus Kaylee's amount of 1/6 plus the leftover, so that you could account for everything. 2/6 plus 1/6. Should be a 6 there. 2/6 plus 1/6 is 3/6, plus 2 more 6 is 5/6. Well, we know the whole pizza had 6 slices. So how many slices would equal 6/6? That would be 1/6, because you could take 6/6 minus 5/6 is equal to 1/6. The other way you could do it is you could draw each of these would be, that's 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and 6/6. All right, so Noah ate 2/6. So this was Noah's, this was Noah's. Kaylee ate 1/6, and we had 2 left over. So how much do we have left? 1/6 is Lily's amount. All right. And that makes sense because 2 6 plus 1 6 plus 2 6 is 5 6 plus 1 more is 6 6. Let's look at the next page. On this particular problem, it says that Chloe did some of her homework before dinner. She did 2/6 of her homework after dinner. She has 1/6 of her homework left. What fraction of her homework did Chloe do before dinner? Write the fraction in simplest form. If we look over here, I'm going to draw it as a pizza. All right, according to this, she did 2/6 after dinner, so I'll mark that with an A for after. It also says that she has 1/6 of her homework left. So how much did she do before dinner? 1, 2, 3/6, or, because it says to write it in simplest form, what would 3/6 equal? You can see it here. It equals 1/2. 1/2 before dinner. All right, let's look at problem 2. There were 12 goals scored during the game. Team A scored 8/12 of the goals. Team B scored 2 goals during the first half of the game. What fraction of the goals did Team B score during the second half of the game? Write in simplest form. All right, so on this one, we need to look at it, where's my pen, in 12s. So I'm going to kind of come off to the side to model this for you. So there's our 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. It says Team A scored 8/12 of the goals. So let's mark 8/12 for Team A. Okay. Next, it states here that, I got to look at my book here because I can't read from the screen. Team B scored 2 goals during the first half of the game. What fraction of the goals did Team B score during the second half? Well, if they scored 2 goals, each of these would be 1/12. So Team B scored here and here. But the question was, what fraction of the goals did they score in the second half? So what fraction would this be? That would be 2/12. I can divide that by 2 over 2. Remember, that's the 1. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 12 divided by 2 equals 6. So this would be 1/6 during second half. Alrighty, next we have Brandy and her mom are at a pet store. The pet store has 12 reptiles. Of the reptiles, 5/12 are turtles, 2/12 are snakes, and the rest are lizards. What fraction of the reptiles is lizards? Well, you could do this a couple of ways. You could count 5/12 plus 2/12 is 7/12. Well, 7 plus what is 12? 7, you can count up, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what would that be? 5/12. So you could do it that way. 5/12 are lizards. So the other way you could do it is, again, we could draw. Okay, so I know that 5/12 are turtles. I'll mark those with a T. 3, 4, and 5. And I know 2/12 are snakes. So how many does that mean? Have left for the lizards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/12. So 5/12 would be your lizards. All right, let's look at your next page. As we look at page 590, problem number 4 says, there are 16 books on a shelf. 4/16 of the books are about animals. 2 are adventures. The rest are mystery. How many are mystery books? So if we think of that in terms of 16 books on the shelf, so we'll pretend we have 2 shelves here, just because otherwise it's going to be hard to fit them all. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 is 16. There's our 16 books. There's 16 books. 4 of the 16s are about animals. So I'll mark those with an A. That's 4/16, 4 books out of the 16. Then we have 2 are adventure books. I'll call them ADs. 2/16 are adventure books. The rest are mystery. How many of these books are mystery? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 mystery books. Okay, next we have 10 pieces of chalk. 2/10 of the chalk is pink. 1 piece is blue. That would be 3/10. The rest are white. How many pieces of chalk are white? So 2/10 plus 1 more, 2 out of 10 is pink. 1 more is 3 out of 10. So 3 plus what is 10? 7. So your answer for that would be 7/10. Or how many pieces? It's 7 pieces. And we can look at that not only by adding the 2 and the 1 and think 3 plus what is 10, but you could also draw 10 pieces. There's our 10. So it said in the problem that 2 are